Alright, this is a continuation of the semester review. This is problem number 5, okay, and we're supposed to solve this inequality, and it's a single variable inequality with an absolute value in it. Okay, so this time the distance away from 0 has to be less than 5 units. That means we have to get closer and closer to it. Oops, and that's going to be negative 5 over there. So we got to be going those two directions. That means our distance has to get less than 5 units. That forces 3x plus 1 to be less than 5 units. The other thing that would make it true is if 3x plus 1 was greater than negative 5. So again, just like steps, notice we wrote it exactly the way it is, but we dropped the absolute values. Then we wrote it again, but we had to flip the inequality, and we had to change the sign. Okay, so our distance is either way less than 5 units away. Then we just solve each of these. 3x is less than 4, so x is less than 4/3. And 3x is greater than negative 6, so x is greater than negative 2. So if we graph these two solution sets, we get greater than negative 2. That goes this way, and x is less than, that'd be 1 1/3 if you want an improper or a mixed. And so these two equations or solutions overlap right in between negative 2 and 1 1/3, and so those are the x values that would cause this and this to both be true at the same time. Now we'd write this as a solution set and say it is all the x values that are trapped in between negative 2 and 1 1/3 is 4/3. And so that would be our final answer. The bottom one in purple being the solution set, and the top one being the graph of the solution set. Next we have problem number 6. That shouldn't say give, it should say given this equation, determine y when x is 3. So this is a simple plug and chug. So we're going to plug in 3 for x, and we're just going to solve this thing for y. 3 times 5 is 15. So on the left hand side, keep this in mind, these are both on the left hand side and they're like terms. So we just combine like terms on the left hand side, giving us 30. Now we're going to move 30 to the other side by subtraction. So negative 6y equals negative 10. Finally, y is negative 10 over negative 6, which will reduce to 5/3. Okay, so let's just evaluate an equation when you know one of the variables. Problem 7, identify the following as quadratic, linear, and identify the terms. Remember we said get them in standard form, which means solve for y before you do any determinations. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides, and I'd get 3x squared minus 4x minus 3 equals negative y, dividing by a negative and reversing the whole thing. There we go. So this is certainly quadratic. And identifying terms, we would say that's the quad term, this is the linear term, and this is the constant. The second equation here, equation B, we'll go x equals 3y, and therefore y equals x over 3. A lot of students have a hard time with that one, but that's just 1/3 times x. Okay? This equation is linear. It only has one term, and that's the 1/3 x. That's a linear term. And finally, this last one, y equals 5x plus 2. Again, linear. 5x is the linear term. 2 is the constant. A quick note about this one or this one. This is also called a direct variation. Y varies directly as x, and we referred to 1/3 as the constant of variation. And we generally write these as y equals kx. but kx, just like the slope does in y equals mx plus b. Problem 8 and 9 are just kind of factual questions. You just have to have that stuff memorized by now, hopefully. What's the slope of a vertical line? That's undefined. What's the slope of a horizontal line? That is 0. Slope equals 0.